Birth of the Gods. Once upon a time, in a space that was not yet a world, the first gods were born naturally. These were Amanomine Kanoshi, Takemi Musubi, and Kami Musubi. They were invisible and existed in the heavens. Following them, two deities, Izanagi and Izanmami, were born. The pair stood on the bridge between heaven and earth, named Ananyoki Haishi, the floating bridge of heaven. They were given a jeweled spear from the elder gods. With this spear, they steered the sea below. When they lifted the spear, salty drops fell and solidified into an island. This was Onogoro, the first island in what would become the Japanese archipelago. Izanagi and Izanmami descended onto the island and married each other. Together, they gave birth to the many islands of Japan and numerous deities, creating the world as we know it. The beautiful land we see today is all thanks to their efforts. This is the very beginning of the long, enchanting story of Japanese mythology. In this channel, I would like to share you Japanese stories. To ensure you don't miss any updates about Japanese stories, hit the subscribe button and drop a comment saying, "I've subscribed." Izanagi and Izanmami. Once upon a time, there were two deities named Izanagi and Izanmami. They were given a special jeweled spear by the elder gods. Standing on the floating bridge of heaven, they steered the sea below with this spear. As they lifted the spear, salty drops fell and solidified into an island. This was Onogoro, the first island in what would become the Japanese archipelago. Izanagi and Izanmami descended onto this island, and here they decided to become husband and wife. Izanmami, the female deity, gave birth to many islands of Japan and a plethora of deities, creating mountains, valleys, streams, and trees. The pair worked harmoniously, and the world was filled with their children, including the gods of the wind, trees, mountains, and rivers. However, when Izanmami gave birth to Kagutsuchi, the fire god, she suffered severe burns and sadly passed away. Izanagi was devastated by his beloved's death. In grief and rage, he killed Kagutsuchi, which resulted in the creation of several new deities from Kagutsuchi's body. Unable to bear the loss, Izanagi decided to descend into Yumi, the underworld, in an attempt to bring Izanmami back to the world of the living. When he finally found her in the darkness, she had already eaten the food of the underworld and could no longer return. Izanmami appeared as a horrifying spectre to Izanagi, who was scared and fled back to the surface. Izanmami was furious with Izanagi for seeing her in such a state and sent the hags of Yumi to chase after him. He managed to escape, sealing the entrance to Yumi with a huge boulder. This marked their tragic separation, with Izanagi in the world of the living and Izanmami in the world of the dead. It was from this dramatic tale of creation and loss that the world, as we know in Japanese mythology, came to be. Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi. After a tragic separation from his wife Izanami, Izanagi returned to the world of the living. He was contaminated by the underworld, Yomi, so he decided to cleanse himself in a river. As he washed, new deities were born from his body. From his left eye emerged Amaterasu, the radiant and warm goddess of the sun. From his right eye appeared Tsukuyomi, the calm and measured god of the moon. Both were sent to the heavens to rule over day and night, and bring light to the world. Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi were close and loved each other, but they had very different personalities. Amaterasu was benevolent and kind, always showering the world with her warm sunlight, helping things grow and flourish. Tsukuyomi, on the other hand, was quieter and more contemplative, illuminating the night with his gentle moonlight, providing guidance in darkness. However, the peaceful balance between day and night was disrupted when Tsukuyomi committed an act that shocked Amaterasu. During a feast with Yamato, the goddess of food, Tsukuyomi was so disgusted by the way Yamato prepared a meal that he killed her. When Amaterasu heard of Tsukuyomi's violent act, she was deeply upset and angered. She declared that she no longer wished to see Tsukuyomi, leading to their eternal separation. From that day forward, Amaterasu would rule the sky by day, and Tsukuyomi would take over by night. The tale of Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi teaches us about harmony and balance, light and darkness, and the importance of respect for all life. It is one of the many captivating stories in the rich tapestry of Japanese mythology. The Cave of the Sun Goddess. There was once a beautiful and radiant goddess named Amaterasu, who ruled over the sun. She had a mischievous brother, Susanoo, the god of seas and storms. One day, Susanoo was causing havoc in the heavens, upsetting Amaterasu. His mischief was so extreme that he even destroyed Amaterasu's rice fields and her beautiful weaving hole. Frightened and saddened by her brother's destructive behavior, Amaterasu fled to the heavenly rock cave, known as Ananoiwataru. She hid inside, plunging the world into darkness and cold. The deities in the heavens were worried about the world without sunlight. They knew they needed to lure Amaterasu out of the cave and bring her light back to the world. So they devised a plan. They placed a large sacred mirror outside the cave and hung sacred jewels from a tree. Then, the goddess Amaterasu began to dance and play music, causing great laughter among the deities. Intrigued by the sound of merriment, Amaterasu peeked outside. Seeing her reflection in the sacred mirror, she thought it was another radiant goddess. Curious, she stepped out of the cave, allowing a god to quickly seal the cave behind her. Seeing the world in darkness, Amaterasu realized how essential her light was. With a renewed sense of purpose, she returned to the sky, bringing warmth and light back to the world. And so, the tale of the Cave of the Sun. goddess teaches us the importance of facing our fears and the vital role of the sun in bringing life and vitality to our world. It is one of the most beloved stories in Japanese mythology. This is the end of this story. Click like. Thanks for watching this video. See you next one.